In 2006, the American channel Discovery produced a documentary called The Boy with the Power of God. It talked about the miraculous story of Bomjon, a 15-year-old teenager who attained enlightenment in the dense forest of central Nepal. When the film crew arrived in Nepal, Bomjon did not eat or drink for 8 consecutive months, just sitting under a Bodhi tree, as if reenacting the scene of Bodhi Muni's enlightenment thousands of years ago. After the documentary aired, it shocked the whole world. Media outlets from different countries reported on the meditating teenager. The miracles associated with him became increasingly mysterious. The Nepalese even called him the reincarnation of Buddha. Nepal is the birthplace of Buddhism. The founder of Buddhism is Buddha Sakyamuni, whose original name was Siddhartha Gautama, born 2,600 years ago in the kingdom of Kapilavastu, northern ancient India. He was born as a prince of the Shakya kingdom, which today lies within Nepal's territory. It is said that the entrance to the mysterious land of Shangri-La is also in Nepal. Nepal is also home to the mystical Himalayan snow people. It can be said that this is a land full of extraordinary power, and Bomjon himself shares many similarities with Buddha Sakyamuni. Apart from reincarnation beliefs in Tibetan Buddhism, he is perhaps the most closely watched spiritual practitioner in recent years. However, just as Bomjon's fame was rising, the developments took a turn beyond anyone's imagination. What eventually happened to Bomjon? Today, let us talk about the story of this once shocking spiritual practitioner of Nepal, the Bomjon event. Bomjon was born on the full moon night of April 9, 1990, in the village of Runapuri, Bara district, Nepal, located southwest of Kathmandu, the capital, about 200 kilometers from the birthplace of Buddha Shakyamuni. Nepal is an industrial country with 80% of its population living in rural areas. GDP per capita was less than 1,400 USD, and Bomjon was born into a poor farming family. He was the third child in a very large family. Bomjon's mother, May Devi, coincidentally shares the same name as Buddha's mother. According to what Bomjon's mother said, his birth was accompanied by extraordinary phenomena. He was born crying loudly like thunder. During her pregnancy with Bomjon, his mother could not eat meat. Eating it caused her to vomit. Other children in the family did not have this condition. Bomjon himself has been vegetarian since birth. Moreover, as a child, when he saw villagers slaughtering poultry, he instinctively tried to stop them. Later, followers of Bomjon believed that compassion had awakened in him from birth. Not eating meat comes from one of the 5 precepts of Buddhism: non-killing. At age 6, Bomjon first witnessed a cremation and gradually began to recall memories of past lives. At age 11, Bomjon went to Dehradun, India, and followed Tibetan Vajrayana Buddhism, returning his first Dharma name, Bodong Daki. However, when ordaining, Bomjon refused the traditional haircut and writ. In Tibetan Buddhism, there is a tradition of seeking recognized reincarnations. When Bomjon practiced, he was also brought into a meditation cave with other boys to verify if they had spiritual experiences from the boy. The other children quickly left the cave, but Bomjon sat in meditations for 3 full days, barely moving. From that moment, his master realized he was different from the others. But for some reason, at age 14, Bomjon suddenly abandoned practice and returned home in Nepal. Months later, he told his mother that he was about to embark on a 6-year ascetic meditation journey. He said this and left home. Bomjon then entered a dense forest in Radhampuri, sat under an ancient Bodhi tree, entered a meditative state, and that day was January 16, 2005. At first, villagers paid little attention, thinking the 15-year-old boy was just playing. But as time passed, they discovered that Bomjon remained immobile under the Bodhi tree for many days. People began to see him differently, believing he possessed a miraculous spiritual power. Gradually, some villagers brought food to him under the Bodhi trees. Bomjon's brother set up a simple fence around the tree to prevent outsiders from disturbing his meditation. Initially, Bomjon's mother was worried, fearing he might die. His brother advised him to go to a monastery, but Bomjon said the monks could not teach him what he wanted to learn. He wanted Buddha Shakyamuni himself as his master. Bomjon's story spread widely. Buddhist pilgrims came to see him meditate in increasing numbers. By the 5th month of his meditation, the forest around him had turned into an open-air market. To meet the needs of thousands of pilgrims daily, various stalls were set up. Surrounding the forest were parking areas managed by staff. A shop owner from the town even closed his store to open a stall in the forest, saying it was more profitable. Bomjon's brother, formerly a farmer, became the manager of this market. It could be said that Bomjon's presence helped stimulate the local economy. Many devotees traveled long distances to pay homage, some even prostrating step by step before him. Some stayed in the forest to learn meditation from him. In 2005, after hearing of Bomjon's story, Discovery Channel came to the forest with a half-believing, half-skeptical attitude to film. By then, Bomjon had been meditating without food or water for 8 months. American nutritionists stated that humans cannot survive more than 72 hours without food and especially water. If Bomjon's story was true, it would be an unsolved mystery for modern medicine. The crew filmed continuously for 5 days outside the fence around the Bodhi tree, and observed that Bomjon neither ate nor drank, nor left the tree. Sitting in meditation with eyes closed, he appeared thin but not emaciated. His exposed arms showed defined muscles, indicating he was not like a person deprived of food for months. Nutritionists speculated that Bomjon might have entered a hibernation-like state through meditation. French Buddhist scholars suggested his meditation resembled an ancient form of yoga, allowing the absorption of nutrients from sunlight and air. The most bizarre observation was that at night, in temperatures of 5 to 10 degrees Celsius, sweat appeared on Bomjon's face and neck, showing that his body's physiological functions were normal, even generating heat, as if exercising. The film suggested this was related to the ancient Tibetan Buddhist Tummo meditation technique. Tummo means in a fire, using breathing to circulate heat stored in the body, raising body temperature. Tibetan monks in the Himalayas practiced this to survive cold. In the 1980s, an American-led team researched this technique by placing wet cloths on monks in freezing conditions. After 45 minutes, the cloths emitted heat. Monks said that sweating during meditation indicated internal spiritual struggle, unseen by outsiders. Many believed fasting for days was remarkable, but to experienced practitioners, it was not extraordinary. At 8 p.m. on Wednesday, May 10, 2006, a shocking scene occurred. Nearly 60 witnesses saw flames burst from Bomjon's chest, burning his robe worn for nearly 10 months. Bomjon, naked, spun once in the fire and then sat down. After the flames died, he weakly asked his brother, "Bring me my red robe." The brother draped it over him, and Bomjon told the crowd, "Everyone leave so I can transmit meditation." From then, more miracles were attributed to him. Some claimed to see a Buddha halo above his head. Others saw him bitten by venomous snakes, yet detoxifying through meditation lane. Pilgrims reported feeling a serene, joyful energy when touching his body. Professor Tu Xiu, a renowned Chinese scholar in calligraphy and painting, personally visited Nepal and became a leading follower of Bomjon in China. He said Bomjon, though barely in his 20s, had consciousness beyond his age. Bomjon and Buddha shared many coincidences. Born on full moon nights, mothers with the same name, meditated under Bodhi trees, and attained enlightenment. Locals thus regarded him as the reincarnation of Buddha. However, as Bomjon's fame grew, global pilgrims flocked in increased numbers. In May 2006, he unexpectedly disappeared from the tree hollow. On May 11th, the fence was found cut, his robe left behind, and he had vanished without a trace of blood or murder. Some said he went deeper into the forest. 8 days later, he returned to a village near the forest, telling elders he had left because it was too noisy and that he would meditate quietly for 5 years before returning with his wisdom. However, less than a year later, on December 26, 2006, elders found Bomjon in the forest. His hair had grown longer, his body stronger, and he carried a sword for protection. He vanished again. By 2007, he was discovered in Horia Forest, Bara district. where followers built an underground meditation chamber called Padakumba. In August, he interrupted meditation to address over 3,000 followers, saying humanity faces the degenerate age, corrupted by greed and desire, and the only salvation is practicing righteous cultivation. He appeared ready to establish a new religion. By November, he organized a 10-day spiritual summit, accepting people calling him a living saint. In 2008, he reappeared under the Bodhi tree, wearing a white robe, speaking to followers. By May 2011, he completed his meditation record, with global followers holding grand ceremonies. Bomjon founded his own religion, Supreme Dharma Congregation, calling himself Great Supreme Dharma Guru. In Hinduism, Guru means wisdom leader, the spiritual fire. He changed robes from Tibetan Buddhist red to blue and established hierarchical titles. In Nepal, 90% are Hindu, 7 to 8% Buddhist, others 1 to 2%. Nepal is called the land of gods. Many practitioners exist, but Bomjon stood out, possibly due to timing. After a decade-long civil war, 1996 to 2006, and public suffering, people sought spiritual guidance. His emergence coincided with hope during difficult times. In 2010, former Health Minister Manalama became a loyal follower. He and his wife, previously childless, conceived after receiving Bomjon's blessing. With Manalama's influence, more politicians supported him. In 2014, Prime Minister Sushi Kerala met him. Followers claimed Bomjon healed his cancer, though he died 2 years later. Bomjon's presence was believed to bring peace. He received a diplomatic passport, established branches worldwide, and held international events. However, controversies followed. In 2007, he allegedly attacked a shepherd with a sword. In 2009, he attempted to stop mass animal sacrifices but failed. He imprisoned and abused followers in later years, and in 2020, Nepal police issued an arrest warrant. On May 10, 2024, Bomjon was finally arrested at age 33, with 30 million rupees, 350,000 USD, and foreign currencies seized. He also had a wife, Deep Shikshekt, 2 children. Despite claiming renunciation, he maintained wealth, property, and influence. Bomjon faced charges for sexual abuse of minors and was sentenced to 10 years in prison. The Discovery documentary initially propelled him to international fame. His story, blending genuine spiritual practice with abuse, deception, and corruption, reflects humanity's thirst for faith and the reality of moral decay in modern religious institutions. Similarly, recent scandals in Shaolin Temple show how corruption, ambition, and misconduct can infiltrate religious orders. These events prompt reflection on whether we are living in the degenerate age described in Buddhist scriptures, when false monks clad in robes corrupt true Dharma. The video ends here. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe. Goodbye, and see you in the next video.